Hi guys, this is my first video YouTube tutorial, so please bear with me. But I'm going to be showing you how to make these finger rotators. This is an Apple inspired one, so I'm going to show you how to make the stem and then the core of it, and then this is the part that rotates. Just put that on there, and then okay. So first, you are going to need 15 main beads. So let's just line them up. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're gonna take some string. So you're gonna take some string, and I like to get a lot of string because I have a bad habit of cutting too short, so I kind of just take this long piece right here and bam. So then you're gonna put all 15 beads on here. Okay. Okay, then after that, you are going to double knot it. So tie it off once, and then do this. And sometimes I like to do this to make it extra secured. Okay. Now, if you're familiar with the X base, that's what we're going to do here. So, you string it in through the first bead you see here. There you go. And then you're going to take 3 beads. First bead, tan, a dark brown, and another tan bead here, or light tan bead. Then you're going to skip 2 and string it in the third one right here. So it should look like this. And you're going to continue this pattern all throughout. So once again, it's going to be tan, a dark brown, and another tan bead. And then you're going to skip 2 and go through this third one right here. And just in case, just make sure you pull it so it's not too loose. And then we're just going to continue that. Okay, so now you should be at the end part, so your first point that you started as. You are going to go through these 2 beads right here, and you're going to come out through this point right here. So the dark brown, that's where your string should be coming out of. So I'm gonna do that. Skip one, and then going out of the second one. So that's your first point. Make sure you pull it. So then we are going to begin our X right here. So for this part, it's going to be a little different. You are going to get a tan bead, the light green bead, or whatever color you're using, whether it's dark green, red, and then another tan bead. And you're going to skip these 3 beads right here. So 1, 2, 3. You're going to go through your next dark brown bead. It should look like that. And you're going to see it beginning to form its shape. That's how it's supposed to look. So once again, we're going to take tan bead, light green bead, and another tan bead. And then 1, 2, 3. And we go into this next dark brown one. And we're going to do this all around. So I'll meet you guys at your last point. Okay, now it should be coming from this last point here, and this is where it will start forming its shape. So this is exactly how it's supposed to look. And right now, you're gonna string through this tan bead and come out through this green bead right here. So this light green bead is where we're gonna be coming out of. Now this part is a little different. We're actually going to be stringing 2 beads. So 2 pony beads, and it would be of your main color. And we're going to skip these 3 beads right here. So the tan, the dark brown, and the other tan. And we're going to go through this other green bead. So it should look like this. And we're going to do the same thing. Put on 2 light green beads. Skip all 3, tan, dark brown, tan, and go through this green one. Now we are going to do that all around. Okay, so what we're going to do, we are going to tie it off. So right here, and then boom. And make sure it's tight here. Oh. Okay, so what we're going to do here, we are going to tie it off. So go through this right here. Make sure it's right there. Then I'm going to make sure this is tight. I just like to pull that while I pull the end string to tighten it. And then boom. And then sometimes I like to double knot it just in case. So again, Okay, and I know what you guys are thinking, but we're actually not gonna cut this off. We're gonna keep this on. I just like to tie it for security. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go through these 2 beads and come out on the 3rd one right here. So go through this one, that's the 2nd one, and then the 3rd one. So what we're doing is we're gonna make the border part. So there's the border on the top, and then there's also the bottom portion. So right now we're at the top border. And what you're gonna do, you're gonna string on 3 pony beads of your main color. For this one, since I use light green, I'm stringing on 3 light green beads. So 1, 2, and oh, wrong color. And 3. Okay? And then we're gonna skip these 2 and go out of this 3rd one right here. So right here, and then boom. So once again, string 3 of the beads. That is your main color. Mine's is light green. So I'm stringing on 3 light green beads. We're gonna skip this 2 and go into this 3rd one right here. Then I'm gonna continue to do that all around. Okay, and then you should be on the last point. So once again, skip these 2 and then go into this 3rd one right here. And then we are going to go on the bottom layer. So what we're gonna do, since our point is coming out of this one right here, our last point, we're gonna go through this tan bead, brown bead, tan bead, and come out this green bead right here. So it would look just like that. So go through this one. Through this brown bead. Out of this tan bead. And then right through this green bead. And make sure you pull it to secure it. So basically we're going to do the same thing that we did for the top layer. So add on your 3 beads and then come out of the same bead. You can also go off the top pattern as well because it's going to be the same thing. So there you go, my beads are added. And then skip these 2, 1, 2, and then onto this green bead right here. Then boom, you'll be doing the same thing. So I'm just gonna quickly do that. Then, okay, so what I like to do, I kind of just string through these beads so I can meet this string right here. So wherever your string is, you just string it in from the top, or you can tie it off right here. So I'm just gonna quickly show you how I do it. Just stringing it there. Going through that. these two. And then I just tie it off here. It just really depends on what you prefer. I just prefer to like do it this way. And then I'm gonna do the last knot. Okay, boom. And now we're gonna cut this off. So like that. And this is the base of it. So right now we're on this step. And we still gotta do the stem part. And I'm thinking like maybe I wanna add a leaf to this one. So we're gonna use the rest of our string. And we're gonna cut about, I would say maybe this much. Cut off this much. And if that doesn't work, it's okay. We can cut off more. So it really depends on where you want to add your stem. I think I'm going to add it right here. So you can add it on either one of these top beads here. But I'm going to add mine right here. So what you're going to do, you're going to run your string right through the bead. Then you're going to take a brown bead, put it in like that. Then you're going to take another one, put it in like that. So it's going to go through both of the strings, okay? So it should look like this. And then our last bead is going to be different. You're going to put it on one string. So you see how both of them, the first two is going through both strings. The last one is going through one string. Then you're just gonna pull it, make sure it's tight, and then you're gonna tie it off. I'm just doing this, tugging on it a little bit to make sure it's secure. And we're gonna tie it again. Oh. And then I just like doing that last tie to make sure. Okay, and boom. You have your little stem. And then just cut off this part right here. Boop. And this is the little stem part. Now I never made a leaf for it before, so I'm kind of just guesstimating on the leaf. So please bear with me. I'm gonna take this much of the string and maybe a little bit less. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 beads on here. I added more. I just like took out these two right here. And what I did is I went through one of these middle point beads here. So instead of going through like one of these 3 ones like I did with the stem, I did one of these middle ones. And then all of the green beads are actually on one string. And then so you just tie it off like this. And this is if you want a leaf on your ring apple cuff. I just thought it'd be a little cute to add the little leaf on it. So bam, and tie it off, and bam. Then I'll cut off right here. So what you're gonna do, your last piece of string, you are going to make this portion. So basically the portion that rotates. And you're actually gonna add 21 light green or main color beads on this string. So after you add 21, you're going to place it here. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna add 21 beads on our string. So okay, just to make sure, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Right, then after that, you are going to tie it off. Oh. Actually, tie it off like that. Then you just put it in through the bottom. Then boom, an apple rotator cuff. And of course, like with the ring rotators, you can really do whatever style you want. Actually, I have a few different ones that I made. Made this one, a donut version of one. Oh, and then here's an Oreo one. So yeah,